In this podcast episode, I'm going to talk to you on why you need to audit yourself, why it's important, and how that's going to help you stay on track to your destination. This is the Detailing Business Class Podcast. And welcome back to a new episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can tell that it looks slightly different, and that's because I'm actually in our new shop location, which is this is Suite 105, our original one, the smaller one. That one is Suite 104. So this isn't the permanent location. I still have to. I will move the podcast to its own like media room, but we're gonna be painting the offices, and then I'm gonna add a few more things to one, make it look nicer, and then to remove some of that reverb in the office. So right now it might sound a bit more not echoey, but there's more reverb right now because there's not much in this office. So the noise is kind of bouncing straight back to me here. So it might sound a little empty right now, but don't worry about it. This is just temporary until we move to the new space. So anyways, in this episode, I want to talk to you. I'll keep on looking back at my thing just to make sure all the settings are correct. So today I want to talk about kind of, reevaluate what I did, or not what I did, but how I've been, after making the decision of getting the shop. There's two ways that you can look about it, right? There's one side to where it's like, hey, you're doing a good job. You said that in 1 year you wanted to, move to the bigger shop, and it took 1 year and 3 months. So, not bad. You're growing from the 1,500 square foot shop to now a 3,000 square foot shop. So now in total you have close to 5,000 square feet of shop. Well, not shop space, but of 2 units. Because in total, I can't tell you the exact amount between warehouse and office space, but you get what I'm saying. We're like, you're growing, you're making these financial decisions, and you're able to continue to grow. So it's very easy from the outside looking in to be like, wow, and if you look at when I made the YouTube video, you can see that there's a lot of people that I'd say 99.9% of the people there were positive or encouraging or congratulating us on getting a new shop, right? And it's very, very, very easy to stay within that lane of, okay, yeah, I'm doing a good decision, or the decisions that I'm making are taking us in the right direction. And the way I'm going to preface this episode is more like, it's going to be based on what you want to achieve, right? Whatever I say or how I say things or what I want to accomplish or how I look at things are going to be completely different from your business, from your side, from your perspective, right? So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just how you analyze and audit yourself, right? So there's two ways that you can look about what or how I've been growing, or how when I say I mean like the decisions that I make for us to continue to grow, right? From the shop to this one, or to hire someone, or to bring on more customers, whatever it may be, right? So from the outside looking in, right, the kind of the majority of what people would think is like, you're doing great. You're growing, you're making money. But what I would like to push back on that is it really depends on, like I said, like what level you hold yourself to, and then being very, very honest and truthful to what you're really doing, right? So what I'm getting at is like, to most people, they would say, you're doing great. I wish I could be in your place one day. It's exciting. It's great seeing you come up. Now, to me, right, like I look up to a handful of like entrepreneurs, right? Not in detailers, not like no one in the not disrespectfully, but just like who I look up to, and I mentioned this in other podcast episodes. So if you listen to the podcast, you know who I'm referring to. But it'll be like an e-commerce or software companies that I look at the CEO, the founder, and I look at them as entrepreneurs. I'm like, wow, like how are they able to grow from 0 to 50 million, or 0 to 100 million, or 0 to 25 million in 5 years, in 8 years, without outside funding, without this a bunch of resources? Like, how are they able to do that? So when I when I look at the decisions that I make, I look at it in terms of, if I were to, like, let's say I had, and just to clarify, like the people I might miss a few, but it's Nick Bear from Bear Performance Nutrition. It's Noel Kagan from AppSumo. It is Linus from Linus Tech Tips, and I think there's one more that's I'm currently forgetting. But let's just say those are some of the entrepreneurs, content creators that I look at, right? So if let's say I had them in a room, right, and I kind of broke down the decisions that I've made, and I gave them all the finances, I let them look at all the numbers, I let them, I explained my reasoning behind some of these decisions. Again, most people would say, "Dude, you're doing great, fantastic, you're growing a bigger shop," but to them, and this is all imaginary, right? But I can only imagine to them, it's like, why did it take you so long to make the decision, right? Why did you not do this 6 months ago? Why has it taken you this long to come to this point? And I say that because I truly want to audit myself and saying, okay, seeing the difference, and it's just been a week and a half since we've moved shops, right? And within that week and a half, like the opportunities that I'm able to do now have dramatically increased, right? Not so much just in like the cards we can take, but the content that I create, the things that I can offer through here, through Detail Group, like there's so many more things that I can do now. There's so many things that we can do as a team, as far as like just taking a lunch break together, or like it's just like we have more mental, physical clarity and flexibility because we have more space. But when I look back at it, it's like they would probably think, why did it take you so long, right? Why didn't you take this decision any faster? What could you have done 8 months ago to make the decision 4 months ago? And I say this because it's like, I really want to make sure that like I'm on the right path. I don't want to like sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to like, again, self-auditing myself. It's like, what do you really want to become, right? So moving forward, it's like, if I waited this long to make the decision to jump on this opportunity of getting this new shop, which then leads to more opportunities, I can't let that happen again, right? As far as like, if I can't have that mental inclination of like being reserved or being conservative when there's something that I just in my gut, I can see that it's going to work out if I take that step, that decision to move forward with it. So I'm very happy with the shop. It took me this long, and I'm like, I'm not trying to put myself down. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer or anything. But it's like, if I was getting audited through a board of directors, right? Some people that like have a vested interest in the company that are looking at me every month to say, hey, are you doing the best decisions to grow this company, to grow the revenue, and to make sure everyone is making money, right? Not the board of directors or nothing, but like everyone, the employees, us, like, is everyone making more money? And a quick interruption to let you know that this Saturday, the 30th, I will be opening up enrollment into SEO for Detailers. This is my online course that teaches you how to rank your website on the first page of Google for targeted keywords in your local area. So if you're in Austin, you'd want to rank for keywords like Austin car detailing, Austin auto detailing. Why? Well, because hundreds and sometimes thousands of people per month are looking for a detailer in your area. So if you're on the first page of Google, you can be one of those websites that someone clicks on. Okay, back to the episode. They'd probably be like, you haven't. They'd probably give me a C- in terms of like being a business owner, in terms of being an entrepreneur, right? And again, like I just want to be very, very true and honest to myself as far as like where I am as an owner and entrepreneur, so that moving forward, I know I can say, you know what, I made the same error in the past, waiting too long or thinking it wouldn't work out. Instead, I should just kind of go full force straight ahead, and figure it out as I go, right? So does that mean I did a bad decision? No, I'm just saying like I want to make sure, like, auditing myself, reflecting upon my own decisions, like, have I actually been doing the best decision possible to continue to grow? And honestly, it's going to be no, right? I would like to say, oh, of course, well, look, we're making this much and we got the shop now, and we have these employees, and we'll look at this. It's like, no, I have not, right? To the degree that I'd like to hold myself to the path that I'd like to be on, to where we are right now, I'm not on the right path. I have not been making the right decision. This is not to say we're not making progress. This is not to say we're not on the right path. I'm just saying, to the level I'd like to hold myself to what I think I can achieve, and to my potential, to what I think I can do, we're not on the right path, right? And it's just like the way I look about it is like, if you're like, think about any great, basketball player like Kobe Bryant, right? It's like, did he ever at one point settle for anything other than being the absolute greatest? No. So that's kind of like the same mantra I'm trying to follow. Of like, I just want to make sure that I'm being the absolute best at every single time. And I don't need anyone to just pat me on the back and say, oh, well, you are doing great, buddy. It's like, no, I need to know the most honest, truthful, straightforward answer. Like, am I actually doing the best that I can in order to keep on growing the business? And the straightforward answer is no, I have not. And that doesn't mean you just get up and sorry if there's more noise, there's cars turning on, there's rain, the polishers are running. So if you hear any of that, that'll get corrected later on. So sorry if it's not like pitch perfect noise cancellation right now. But and that's actually Alexa's vehicle right there. So it's like I just want to make sure that I'm doing the absolute best that I can moving forward because I want to. I know I can, it goes back to like I know I can do more. I know that there is more in me, and if there is more in me, I know I can achieve that. And again, that doesn't go down. That doesn't mean you just start working more, right? That doesn't say, oh, well, you're only working 12 hours a day. Well, go to 16 hours. Like it's not that, right? For instance, growing the business or being able to get more done in this specific regard, it's like instead of working 18-hour days, I could have got this shop and now I can go back to just working like 10-hour days, right? Because I have so much more flexibility. I have so many more opportunities. I could do so much more with this space that doesn't bog down R3 and R3 doesn't bog down what I'm doing. So that's in a way of telling you like, just it doesn't automatically mean, oh, you want to do more, well, work more. It's like that's not exactly it, right? So don't think I'm just mean like, oh, work more hours. That's not it. That's a part of it to some degree. But it's definitely not just like, okay, more hours. More hours doesn't necessarily mean you're going to produce more, right? Now the AC turned on, so if there's like a lot of audio in here, it'll get better over time. And then this table's kind of shaky, so it's an IKEA desk, right? So most of the things that I built on this office that I built in this new shop is going to be a lot of IKEA based. Maybe my office will get like nicer things, but since there's so much, like I think the lights that we're going to get in total between buying the lights and then getting them installed is going to be like, I think like $4,000 to $7,000. So I'm kind of nitpicking where I put most of the money at, right? And then we might paint the shop wall, so that's gonna be like an extra like $3,000. So I'm not just trying to splurge on everything. Yeah, I'm trying to be very mindful of where the money goes. So what's a takeaway from with this episode to you? Well, one, I just have you ever taken a few minutes right out of the day to just really kind of audit yourself and reflect on yourself and saying, am I on the right path right now? Am I really doing what I said I wanted to do? Or am I really doing the level of action that I should be doing in order to reach my goals, right? I don't know what that means for you. It's going to be something different for everyone. But are you right now, if you self-reflect, if you can, step out of your body like Doctor Strange, right? And you can look at yourself and you're looking at all the decisions that you're making, would you wholeheartedly agree that per what you say you want to do and where you want to be, the actions align to that? Does it? I can't tell you yes. I can't tell you no. It's just self-reflect, audit yourself, saying, okay, I said I wanted to start this business and make X amount, or I wanted to do, I wanted to be at this point by this time. Are you there yet? Why aren't you there yet, right? Some goals, it takes a little longer, right? Like for us, like the goals that I probably never hit them because I just want to keep on pushing, right? But it's like, look at the goals and say, okay, am I on track? Is this too big of a goal, or is my level of action not aligned with the goal that I want to actually achieve? Is this actually a bit too much for me to handle? It's like, what is it, right? And it's like, really look at yourself and say, well, maybe I can do more actually. Maybe there is more in me. And I don't mean, oh, work more. I don't mean, oh, stretch yourself out more. It's just, you can do more, right? Like for instance, I announced a post a while back on my Instagram, which follow me if you're not on there, on the double down season, right? And the double down season, I basically just said, I don't know what this means. It just means I'm gonna do more than what I'm currently doing. That's all I said, right? I don't know what that means, but I'm just gonna do more of what I'm currently doing. And one of those things that I started doing is I post not every day, but maybe 4 to 5 times out of the week. I post twice a day on Instagram now on Detail Groove. So it's as simple as that. Of like, well, what does more mean? It's like, I don't know, just do more. You're gonna have to figure out what's working and what's not working for you, right? Like again, like when you find something that works, just keep on doing more of it, right? So if you're, for instance, in this particular example, it's like if you're doing SEO, right, search engine optimization, and you're ranking, you're a mobile detailer and you're working, you're creating service area pages, meaning you're trying to target the different cities in your area, and you see that you're getting leads from another city from one of your service area pages, right? So if you're like, well, I want to do more, I want to get more customers, it's like, does that mean you should go and start posting more on Instagram? I don't know. Or does that mean you should post maybe instead of doing one service area per week, how about you do 2 service area pages per week, right? Like if you already find something that's working, just keep on doing more of that, you know? So if that's the case, like, yeah, like still stick to SEO, still stick to your website, but just create more pages now, right? More pages that are actually working. Or if you are on Instagram and you're posting reels or photos and it's like, oh, I want to get more customers. It's like, well, what's working? Where are most of your customers coming from? Well, I post mostly on Instagram. It's like, well, post more on Instagram. Don't worry about it. Just keep on doing what's working. Like, just capitalize more on what's working. And you're like, well, already post a photo. Well, post twice a day then, right? Have you tried that? Have you tried videos? Have you tried reels? Have you tried going live? Have you tried, have you really maximized everything that you can from this one platform before moving on to something else? You know? So it's like that, and in part of all that's like, and that's what I say, like getting a bigger shop, it just allows for more opportunities. So it's like, and there's no one specific way for this answer, right? Like, the double down season can mean anything to anyone, right? If you're just getting started and you just want to make your first $1,000 per month, I mean, that's going to look different than someone that wants to go up to like, $15,000 per month, right? Those are going to be two completely different businesses in terms of what they focus on and how they focus on things and like the resources they have available to them. But really, like, it just look at, you just audit yourself, reflect and say, or write it down on a piece of paper and just like, where do you want to be? What are you currently doing? What can you do differently to get there? Right. And it's like, and it's easy to put yourself on a pedestal, be like, oh, I have this business and I'm making X amount. It's like, oh, I'm doing so well. It's like, I mean, it's very easy to fall into that trap. That's why it's like, it's very important on who you listen to, who you like, what information you consume, right? Like what content creator, what detailer, specifically for us detailers, it's like, who do you listen to? I've said it multiple times. Like, I really don't listen to that many detailers in the industry, just because, like, we all have different goals, we all have different things that we want to do. But I've said this in a couple episodes now. But like, to me, it's like, if a detailer is working out of their home garage, doesn't have employees, and doesn't want to continue to grow, they're just not for me. Like, as far as like where I see where I want to be and where I'd like to take us, consuming information specifically around business, because detailing, I'll listen to anyone because most detailers are better than me. But as far as like the business information and such, it's like, if you are only working at your home garage, don't have employees, and don't want to grow out of there, that's not really where I want to go, right? Because I only want more employees. I only want more revenue. I only want more space. I only want more things. So those two things don't align. And that's like, it's very important to make sure that the same way I'm telling you, like, make sure you self-reflect and like you're very honest with yourself and you don't sugarcoat it and just put yourself on a pedestal. It's the same way with consuming information. Because if you're listening to someone that is, whatever, details, just conform it to you. But like, for me, it's like, yeah, if they're working at the home garage and they don't want to grow and they don't want to move out of there, it's like, to me, that doesn't align to me. So it's like, it's not right for me to listen to that information and to try to consume it and put it to use, when it's like, we're just not on the same playing field, right? Not in a bad way, not in like I'm better, but it's like, we're just on different paths. That's all it is. So I'm really not saying this with disrespect. So I don't want to hear anyone, oh, you're talking. No, not at all. Don't be a little snowflake. So it's like that's why I look to other industries to look at other business owners and entrepreneurs. Like I said, Noah Kagan, Nick Bear, Linus Tech Tips, Linus Sebastian. And again, like, those have nothing to do with detailing. They have nothing to do with a local business. But it's how they run the business, how they've been able to grow it, what they do, how they handle things, how they're able to grow, like how they make the decision. Like, that's what I look at. Not so much of like, well, it's not detailing, so how does that fit with me? It's like, that's not the point. That's not the part I'm focused on. So, advice to you: audit yourself, really look at yourself and say, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I really doing the best of what I can? Am I really on the right path? And, hopefully you have some people around you that'll tell you differently, because I'm telling you, like, it's very, 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 very easy to get comfortable, especially when everyone around you is telling you you're doing so well and that, oh my God, like that must be exciting to run your own business. It is very, very easy to get comfortable. It's very easy to be put on that pedestal, be like, oh wow, I am running my own business. I guess this is cool. Yeah, I am doing good. But if you really want to stay true to yourself and say, well, what do I actually want to do? And you want to grow, like, you cannot be complacent, right? Whatever you did last month, last week, last year, whatever numbers you hit or whatever things you achieved, it's like, scratch it onto the next one. Like that's all I can say. Just scratch it and onto the next one. Like, you don't want to get complacent, and not so much that you have to keep on growing. Not that not that that's like the end all be all. But you can't get comfortable. You can't get complacent, because once that happens, it just, if it happens for too long, the slippery slope starts to happen, and you can potentially start to fall backwards. But over like a long period of time. So, hopefully it's helped you in some way. I just wanted to share this to be more transparent in terms of like how I look at myself, right? As far as like, how I run my business. Because I was talking to Caesar about this, and I was like, yeah, like, it's very easy for me to be like, yeah, I'm doing well, but I'm sure if I talk to some other big time entrepreneurs that always want to push and grow, it's like they would look at me and be like, bro, we're not in the same field. Like you can't play with me because we're on different levels. And it's like I want to be on that level. I don't want to play a small time. Like I've always had these I've always had the bigger goals. Like, oh, I want to be over there. I want to go towards towards the bigger goals, towards the bigger game. So I just wanted to share that. Hopefully hopefully it helps you in some way. I don't know. I mean, it's just like, I'm not trying to be down. I'm happy with where we are. I'm happy with the progress that we're making, but I just know there's more. What that exactly is, I don't know, but I just know that there's more. I know we're all capable of doing more. So I'll wrap it up right here. Again, this Saturday, the 30th, I will be opening up enrollment into my online marketing course, SEO for Detailers. So if you want to rank your website on the first page of Google in order to generate a consistent flow of qualified traffic, leads, and sales, then be on the lookout. You can join the waiting list by clicking the description box down below if you're watching this on YouTube, or if this is on audio version, then you can just look at the show notes and the link will be there as well. Again, that's this Saturday, the 30th. It'll only be open for a few days. And then you can find the other links down there as well, like the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, and anything else is going to be down there. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the noise. Now it's raining pretty heavily, so hopefully I get the other the media room set up so I can have a more sound barrier thing for the podcast. All right, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.